We are so excited to be here this morning because this morning marks a really important milestone in the lives of both Tara and Nora. Tara is one of my brand new coaches. She has this amazing heart to help people and to love on people, and she has found her passion in health coaching. And she started not too long ago, and her mom, Nora, was one of her first clients. And Tara, I would love for you to share just a little bit about your story and what made you decide to start coaching. And then I would love for you to introduce your mom and help her share her story, because I'm just going to do the spoiler alert right now. Nora is off of her insulin and kicking diabetes in the face. And I cannot wait for you guys to hear more. So Tara, tell us a little bit about your heart to health and what got you into coaching. And then I would love for you to introduce your mom.
Thank you. Well, my name is Tara, and I was in healthcare for about 10 years. I was an x-ray tech, and then I transitioned into specializing in cardiac interventional procedures. And I did that for quite some time. And really, over my course of time in the hospital, I've saw everybody from ER patients to surgery to cardiac patients having heart attacks. And I really, really loved helping them and helping them have a good experience in the parameters that I could help them in the hospital. And this past summer, I actually had my own health event, and my left leg, my tibia, spontaneously fractured. And I found myself outside of the hospital and kind of everything that I knew. And so I realized I had to face a lot of the habits I had myself and actually put my own oxygen mask on first. And it was then that I realized that I had a lot of habits that weren't exactly really great for health. And I was so busy always focusing on everybody else and on my patients that I wasn't really focusing on me. And it kind of led to a systemic breakdown. And so when I found Jessica as my coach, I had gained weight consistently over the course of like 4 years. Basically the time when I switched from graveyards to days, but I went to the cath lab. And I just wasn't managing my emotions very well. I definitely was the binge eater on ice cream. And when I was tired, when I was upset, when I was hungry, when I didn't want to make anything for dinner or whatever, I mean, it was like ice cream was my go-to or whatever I could find. And so when I met Jessica, I was definitely tired of being tired. My bones needed a lot of TLC. I was fresh off rehabbing my tibia, but not super great. And I was having a lot of body pain still, a lot of inflammation, and I have a mixed connective tissue disorder. And so I became a coach because my first 3 days on program, I was able to finally walk without limping. I had this long-standing foot injury. Like, if matters worse, I had the foot injury, then I had the leg fracture, then I had the foot injury again, and this pain was popping up everywhere. It was kind of hot potato all over my body. And so I wasn't really able to walk very well. I was limping all the time. I was limping every single day. I couldn't walk around the block. I'm 33. Like, everybody kept saying, "You're too young for this. This doesn't make any sense." And I'm like, I agree. So after 3 days on program, I could jump out of bed and run to the kitchen and get water and not be limping. And it was such a shock because the pain showed up out of nowhere. It went away out of nowhere 7 months later, came back, after I broke my leg and healed that. And so it was just this thing that we couldn't figure out. We didn't know when it was coming, when it was going, and it just went away. And I started to have a better clarity, less brain fog, more energy, which is something I've never really had. And my life just seemed to start improving almost overnight. And it was definitely something that I had been searching for the better part of my life, especially my adult life. So I became a coach because I just wanted to help others find a system that helps them in all different parameters, from having better habits daily to having less pain, and to even not resorting to binging on ice cream when you're upset and making matters worse and packing on more weight. So I was so thankful. I am so thankful for this program, and it's incredible. I lost 10 pounds my first month. I still have some to lose, but I feel so much better. I fit in my clothes better. I actually feel comfortable getting on Zoom, which in March, I did not want to do this whole Corona virtual life because I was so just disgusted with looking at myself in a camera or a mirror. So I'm just smiling again, and I'm happy. And it was too hard not to open my mouth and share it. And so my mom was the first person I talked to, and watching her transform makes me even just so much more over the moon about this program. So Mom, Nora, it's hard to, I'm not going to be able to call you Nora, so let's just get that right up. So Mom, go ahead and tell me, where were you before this program, and what made you decide to make some changes?
Well, before the program, I was fighting with my diabetes. My A1C was really high. I definitely did not want to go get it tested. I was worried about losing my sight because I was starting to have blurry vision. And boy, did that scare me. I didn't want to lose my sight. I did not want to lose my limbs. And so listening to Tara, I decided that I'm gonna try this. You know, weight loss is great, but my getting off my medicine and being able to see and do things was very important to me. So that's what my why was, is I'm to get my health better. And I'm actually looking forward to my A1C coming up in July to see how it compares. It's just going to be so exciting.
I bet. And so what changes are you noticing now?
Oh, I actually have no more knee pain. I'm able to go up and down the stairs with no problems. I'm able to walk without hurting. I also am able to play with my granddaughter. As I was sharing before, that we were walking and she got tired. And so we dropped off her bike with her papa and over the fence. And then she was still tired. So I said, okay, you can get on my back. I bent all the way down, which I've never been able to do in years. And I put her on my back and carried her back home again. So it was just wonderful. And now I'm getting down on the floor and being able to move around on the floor without having problems. I can get right back up. It's just amazing what this is doing for me.
That's awesome. And I know you said you're basically off your meds. So Jessica mentioned, so you're type 2 diabetes, is that correct?
I'm type 2, and I was doing 30 units in the morning, 30 units in the evening. And in a week and a half, I had already started deleting some of the quantity. And in a week and a half, I went off my medicine because if I took it, I was going to crash.
Yeah, so within just a matter of weeks, you're completely off the insulin. You're still off the insulin.
Yes.
And in terms of your blood pressure, you're also significantly down, reducing that medication.
Yes, I was on 22.5 units. I reduced the 2.5, and now I'm down to just 10 milligrams a day.
That's amazing. And how does it feel to not have to give yourself insulin shots every day?
Oh my gosh, just amazing. No more bruises on the belly, no more lumps in the belly. It's just so amazing not to have to do that every single day, twice a day. Of course, I test my blood sugar 3 times a day to make sure that everything is in check. So everything is going really great.
That's amazing. It seems like that definitely boosts your quality of life.
Yes, it has.
And you've been on the program now how long?
5 weeks.
5 weeks. And
the end of my 5 weeks on Monday.
Okay, and how much have you lost in terms of weight? I know it's not all about the scale, but if the scale is a little bit of a fun part, right?
Yeah, so I'm down 16 pounds now,
16 pounds in just 5 weeks.
5 weeks, which is amazing for me because I have a hard time on anything I've ever done to lose weight.
And it's been how many years of trying to just lose weight and keep that weight off?
Years and years, my whole life, pretty much.
Life.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And
I
I
just
was
want
telling Tara that I can get into a size 10 now, and I haven't been in a 10 for 33 years.
Oh my
and
God.
it just happened in 5 weeks.
In
And not to
five,
mention the medication, which you've been on insulin now for what, a couple years?
several years, yes.
Mm,
Yes, I went
That's
from
incredible.
metformin to the insulin.
And now
That's
you're almost
amazing.
completely off of all of it. No more insulin
Yes.
and very small dose of metformin, soon to
Yes.
probably be gone.
Oh, no metformin, just the blood pressure meds.
Oh, the metformin's gone too. Oh
I
my
don't take
gosh.
any of that.
Oh my gosh. That's so
Just
amazing.
10 milligrams of my blood pressure meds. That's it.
That's awesome. You know, what I'm hearing from both of you is that your quality of lives have drastically changed. You were both in a situation where you were somewhat a slave to your physical condition, right? Tara with pain and Nora with medications and blood sugar checks and, discomfort in her body, not being able to do the things that they really wanted to do because they were limited by their physical health. And the beauty is that their conditions were lifestyle related. And all that was required was to make a few little modifications in their lifestyle. And my question for both of you, I'll start with you, Tara, has this transition into shifting your lifestyle and your habits been difficult?
I feel like it hasn't been, not with this system. Before I met you, I had been kind of flailing around for 10 months just on my own, trying to heal my leg. It was kind of like go home and wait, and hopefully this gets better. And it didn't, and it didn't, and it didn't. And it just kept seemingly getting worse. And I had tried to go it alone, and I was like trying to figure out macros, and I was trying to figure out all these things. And then I was trying to add hydration in, and I was trying to add meditation. I was trying to add exercise slowly, and then I'd get hurt again. And there was all these things I was trying to do by myself. And creating those habits was basically, as I add a habit in, it would take my entire day just to be healthy in my day that day. And so it was like not very sustainable. I couldn't spend every day of my life spending an hour reading and then an hour of exercise and then making all my meals and meditating and doing all these things that, they say that are healthy. And when I, started program, it was so easy to do. It's all laid out. It's very simple to follow. You do little bits by bits instead of trying to overhaul your whole life all at the same time. And it's just so straightforward that I only really ever drank 8 ounces of water a day, especially when I was in the lab, because we'd all have our giant 40-ounce water bottles from Costco, and I'd have it full and I'd have it by my room because I did sterile procedures, but I can't bring it into the room because it's a sterile environment. We have patients in and out. I can't pause the procedure and be like, I'm sorry, I need to go get my next 8 ounces of water in and go pee. So I just wasn't getting the hydration. It's always been hard for me. And within the first week, I went from just a standard 8 ounces a day, which is embarrassing, but I think most people can agree and, can relate. I went from 8 ounces to 64 ounces of water in 3 days. And it's definitely something I still am mindful of, but I know every day, like, I have my water, I need to get it. Like, everything was just so straightforward. And I honestly don't think that I could have done it by myself if I continued to try on my own.
Well, the truth is, if you could have done it by yourself, you would have before I met you, right?
Exactly. I wouldn't have
Yeah,
been
yeah,
where I was. So exactly.
yeah. And Nora, I heard you saying you had tried so many things to try to lose weight, and I know that you said you'd struggled. You just were not successful doing it on your own. And I'm curious, with this process, down, 16 pounds in 5 weeks and off of your insulin and off of your metformin and decreasing your blood pressure medication in half, has this process been difficult for you?
Oh, not at all. It's very easy to follow. And one thing I do want to say is the water for a diabetic is so important because that flushes your system out, not only for the weight, but it also flushes all that extra sugars or anything in your body. So it's so important to drink that water. And I'm doing 11 glasses a day. So I'm really pushing that water, but
Okay.
so easy to follow. It's not hard at all.
That's awesome. You guys, I don't know if all of you know this about me or not, but prior to being a full-time coach, I was a registered nurse and I worked in the hospital for 17 years. And I had a front row seat to human suffering every single day that I went to work. And 90% of that suffering was created by lifestyle. People having strokes, people having heart attacks because of being overweight or obese and not taking care of themselves, not eating right, not exercising, people losing limbs, people losing their lives. And I was getting really disheartened with seeing the same people coming back and being more sick every time, and just teaching them how to deal with a new medical diagnosis and helping them problem solve, adding a new medication to their routine, to see them coming back and knowing that what we were doing wasn't working to get them better. It did wear on my heart as a nurse because I wanted to help people. And I have no doubt that I did help people being a nurse. But the truth is I wasn't helping people the way I wanted to. And now with this program, we've got 2 people right here in front of you that have set themselves free from lifestyle related issues. Now, is their life 100% perfect? Certainly not, because that is a fantasy. However, in comparison to where they were a couple of months ago, they're getting rid of medications. They're getting rid of pain. They're gaining life. They're gaining mobility. They're gaining energy. They're gaining flexibility. And that is the gift that this program is giving to people. And so I just want to leave today with an encouragement to you that if you are struggling with a lifestyle related illness, let us be your hope that you do not have to continue living that way. And what you need to do, you're going to find surprisingly easy. And I'm sure you can relate to Nora's story of having tried this thing and that thing and over and over and over, only to get no success. I'm working with a client right now that she was afraid to even start because she'd failed so many times. And she is officially down 25 pounds. And she and I were in tears on the phone the other day because I remember her being afraid to start because she was afraid that it wasn't possible for her. And so we're here to tell you that a vibrant, healthy life is possible and that making those changes doesn't have to be hard. So I just want to take a moment to honor both of you, to celebrate your successes, and to sincerely thank you for saying yes to your health and for putting in the daily effort to make those changes, because those people in your lives, Nora, that grandbaby, is so important. And I am so thrilled to hear that you are gaining the life and the energy to be able to make more memories with her. That is beautiful.
Yes, very important.
Absolutely. Well, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend.